Welcome to NEET Multiple Choice Questions in Physics. Today we are going to see the topic kinematics, motion in a straight line, part 1, one-dimensional motion we are going to see. Question number 1. A particle of unit mass undergoes one-dimensional motion such that its velocity varies according to v of x is equal to bx power minus 2n, where a and n are constants and x is the position of the particle. The acceleration of the particle as a function of x is given by, there are four options: a minus b square x power minus 2n plus 1, option b minus 2n b square e power minus 4n plus 1, minus 2n b square x power minus 2n minus 1, option D minus 2n b square x power minus 4n minus 1. So the answer for question number 1 is option D. So A is equal to minus 2n b 2x power minus 4n minus 1 is the correct answer. Here they have given v of x is equal to bx power minus 2n. We know acceleration is given by dv by dt, velocity is given by dx by dt. Here acceleration we are writing dv by dt, we are multiplying and dividing by dx, so the value will not change. Here we are rearranging here so that to get this formula, dv by dx into dx by dt can be written as v. So in the next step we are differentiating the value of v, we are getting this value, and already we know dv by dx, we know this value, so you substitute it, then multiplied by v. V value we know already from the given equation, so you substitute the value of dv by dx and v value. Multiplying both the values, we will get minus 2n b 2x power minus 4n minus 1. This is the final answer. Question number 2. The displacement time graph of a moving particle is shown below. The instantaneous velocity of the particle is negative at the point. Here time is taken along x-axis and displacement is taken along y-axis. Here from the graph, when time goes on increasing, the displacement goes on increasing, and again when it goes on increasing time, the displacement goes on decreasing. So alternatively the curve goes like this. So they have given four options. Option A, E is the point, negative at the point. B, F is the point. Option C, C is the point. Option D, D is the point. There are four options are there. The answer for question number 2 is option A is the correct answer. Instantaneous velocity is given by the slope of a displacement time graph. The only part of the graph with negative slope is point E. Hence at the point E, the velocity of the graph is negative. That means when time goes on increasing, the displacement goes on decreasing. So E is the point where the velocity of the graph is negative. Question number 3. A body dropped from top of a tower fall through 40 meters during the last 2 seconds of its fall. The height of the tower is, in bracket they have given the acceleration due to gravity value as 10 meter per second square. There are four options. Option A 60 meter, option B 45 meter, option C 80 meter, option D 50 meter. The correct option for the question number 3 is 45 meter. Here hb the height, t is the time. You know initial velocity u is equal to 0, a is equal to plus g. You know the formula s equal to ut plus half at square. So from that formula we can rearrange that h is equal to ut plus half gt square. Here initial velocity u is equal to 0. So we will get the whole term becomes 0. The remaining thing is h is equal to half gt square only. So distance covered in last 2 seconds, how we can get it? H 40 meter. Distance covered in t seconds minus distance covered in t minus 2 seconds. So from the formula s equal to ut plus half at square, this term will not be here because u is 0. So it becomes 0. So half at square becomes half gt square here, and here half g t minus 2 whole square here. So what happens in the next step? 40 is equal to half gt square minus, if you expand t minus 2 whole square, you will get t square plus 4 minus 4t. So if you simplify these terms, we will get plus half gt square minus half gt square will be cancelled. So you will get 2t minus 2 into g. Here from this value we can find t is equal to 3 second. T is equal to 3 second may be substituted in the formula h is equal to half gt square. If you substitute it, you will get h is equal to 45 meter. It is the correct answer. Question number 4. The position x of a particle with respect to time t along x-axis is given by x equal to 90 square minus t cubed, where x is in meters and t is in seconds. What will be the position of this particle when it achieves maximum speed along the x direction? They have given 4 options: A 54 meter, B 81 meter, C 24 meter, D 32 meter. The option for question number 4 is option A is the correct answer. They have given the equation x is equal to 9t square minus t cubed. So if you want to differentiate the given term x with respect to time, that means dx by dt, it will give the velocity. So you will get 9t square becomes 18t, t cubed becomes 3t square. So 18t minus 3t square will be the answer for dx by dt. Again, if you differentiate, you will get 18t will become 18, 3t square will become 6t. So we will get 18 minus 6t. Here they have given a is equal to dv by dt is equal to 0. So suppose if you substitute 0, acceleration 0 is equal to 18 minus 60, you will get 60 is equal to 18. So t is equal to 3 second. 3 is equal to 3 second. So t is equal to 3 second may be substituted in the first formula they have given in the problem. So if you substitute it, you will get 54 meter. It is the correct answer. Question number 5. A bus traveling the first 1/3 distance at a speed of 10 km per hour, the next 1/3 at 20 km per hour, and at last 1/3 at 60 km per hour. The average speed of the bus is option A 9 km per hour, option B 16 km per hour, option C 18 km per hour, option D 48 km per hour. The answer for question number 5 is 18 km per hour. Option C is the correct answer. You know, average speed is given by the formula total distance traveled by total time taken. So we don't know the total distance traveled. So let me assume the total distance traveled is equal to S. What is total time taken? You know, speed is equal to distance by time. So time is equal to distance by speed. So S by 3 is distance, 10 is speed. So in the same way, S by 3 is distance, 20 is speed, S by 3 is distance, 60 is speed. So if you simplify it, you will get S by 18. So it is total time taken. So total distance traveled is S and total time taken is S by 18. So on the whole, you will get 18 km per hour is the average speed for this question. Question number 6. A stone falls freely under gravity. It covers distances h1, h2 and h3 in the first 5 seconds, the next 5 seconds, and the next 5 seconds respectively. The relation between H1, H2 and H3 is, they have given 4 options. Option A, H2 is equal to 3H1 and H3 is equal to 3H2. Option B, H1 is equal to H2 is equal to H3. Option C, H1 is equal to 2H2 is equal to 3H3. Option D, H1 is equal to H2 by 3 is equal to H3 by 5. The correct option for question number 6 is D is the correct answer. You know S is equal to ut plus half at square. Since u is initially at rest, u becomes 0. The initial velocity is 0. So the whole term becomes 0 here. So remaining is half at square. A is replaced by plus g because the ball is coming towards the earth. So it becomes plus g. So if you substitute, you will get half gt square for the first case. So 5 second is the t. G means 10 meter per second square they have given in the problem. So you are getting 125 meter is the correct answer. For H2, here it reaches 10 seconds. The net distance traveled during the time is half into 10 into 10 square minus. So how much distance covered previously? Half into 10 into 5 square. So the net distance covered is 375. So in the same way for H3 we are calculating half into 10 into 15 square, then minus half into 10 into 10 square, the net distance covered is 625. So here H1 is equal to 125 is equal to 375 divided 375 divided by 3 is equal to 625 divided by 5. So you will get this only the correct answer. H1 is equal to H2 by 3 is equal to H3 by 5. So option D is the correct answer here. Question number 7. The motion of a particle along a straight line is described by equation x is equal to 8 plus 12t minus t cubed, where x is in meter and t in second. The retardation of the particle when its velocity becomes 0 is, there are 4 options. Option A 24 meter per second square, option B 0, option C 6 meter per second square, option D 12 meter per second square. The answer for question number 7 is 12 meter per second square. D is the correct option. They have given the equation x is equal to 8 plus 12t minus t cubed. If you differentiate it, that means dx by dt, you will get velocity. Suppose again if you differentiate it, you will get acceleration. So if I differentiate first time, what I will get, v is equal to 12t minus 3t square, because 8 is constant, 12t becomes 12, t cubed becomes minus 3t square. So in the next step, if I differentiate again, 12 is number, 3t square will become 6t. So I have given v is equal to 0, and already we know a is equal to minus 6t. So a is equal to 6t. Suppose t is equal to 2 seconds, you will get a is equal to minus 12 meter per second square. A is equal to minus 6t. We know t is equal to 2 seconds. They have given the problem velocity is equal to 0. So minus 6 into 2. So you will get minus 12 meter per second square. The minus sign indicates that it is the retardation. That means when time goes on increasing, if the displacement goes on decreasing, it is called retardation. So the retardation words mentions the negative symbol. So of the particle will be given by this value. 12 meter per second square is the correct answer. Question number 8. A particle moves a distance x in time t according to the equation x is equal to t plus 5 whole power minus 1. The acceleration of the particle is proportional to option A velocity whole power 3 by 2, option B distance whole square, option C distance whole power minus 2, option D velocity whole power 2 by 3. The correct option for question number 8 is A. A is the correct answer. They have given in the problem x is equal to t plus 5 whole power minus 1. If you differentiate it with respect to time, you will get this minus 1 comes this side. So minus t plus 5 whole power minus 1 you will get minus 2. Again if we are differentiating, this minus 2 will come this side, minus minus plus, so 2 into t plus 5 whole power minus 3. Here v power 3 by 2. V you know minus t plus 5 whole power minus 2 into 3 by 2. So what happens? These two cancelled. So you will get minus t plus 5 whole power minus 3 you will get. So here a is equal to minus 2. Instead of t plus 5 whole power minus 3, you are writing v whole power 3 by 2, because just now we got it. So 2 is the number. So this can be written as a is proportional to v power 3 by 2. So option A is the correct answer here. Question number 9. The displacement x of a particle varies with time t as x is equal to a e power alpha t, you read it alpha, plus b e power beta t, you read it beta, where a, b, it is alpha, it is beta, are positive constants. The velocity of the particle will option A be independent of B, option B drop to 0 when A is equal to B, option C go on decreasing with time, option D go on increasing with time. The answer for question number 9 is option D. Here the alpha and beta is correctly mentioned in the solution, but in the question alpha is mentioned as A and beta is mentioned as B. Now here it is corrected here. X is equal to A e power minus alpha t plus B e power beta t is the given equation. You know, velocity is equal to displacement by time. That means I am differentiating the given equation x with respect to time, dx by dt. So I am getting minus alpha a e power minus alpha t plus my beta b e power beta t. This equation we are getting. You see velocity is dependent of a and b and does not drop to 0. So when alpha is equal to beta, as t increases, minus a alpha e power alpha decreases and b beta e power beta increases. So the velocity goes on increasing with time because the term is plus. Question number 10. A body dropped from a height h with initial velocity 0 strikes the ground with a velocity 3 meter per second. Another body of same mass dropped from the same height h with an initial velocity of 4 meter per second. The final velocity of second mass with which it strikes the ground is answer A option 5 meter per second, B option B 12 meter per second, option C 3 meter per second, option D 4 meter per second. Which one is the correct answer? The correct answer for question number 10 is option A 5 meter per second. Here initial velocity of the body u1 you take it as 0. Final velocity v1 is 3 meter per second. Initial velocity of the second body is 4 meter per second in the problem they have given. Here you see, you know the formula v square is equal to 2gh for a freely falling body. From that we can write h is equal to v1 square by 2g for the first case. So if you substitute the given values, v1 3 meter per second they have given and g 9.8, if you substitute you will get 0.46 meter. Therefore the velocity of the body here v square is equal to u square plus 2as. Suppose v is equal to square root of u square plus 2as. So here v becomes v2 and u means u2 square plus 2 a means g, s means h. So if you substitute the values here, already we know the h value, you will get 5 meter per second is the correct answer. Question number 11. Which of the following curve does not represent motion in one dimension? Option A, they have given curve like this. Option B, they have given like this. That means it mentions circular motion. Option C, they have given bending curve. Option D, as like sine wave they have given. The answer for question number 11 is option B. It is the correct answer because in one dimensional motion the body can have at a time one value of velocity but not two values of velocities. The circular motion has two velocities. One is linear velocity. Another one is angular velocity. So circular motion is a two-dimensional motion. So option B is the correct answer. Question number 12. A car moves from x to y with a uniform speed v suffix u and returns to y with a uniform speed v suffix d. The average speed for this round trip is, they have given four options. Option A, square root of vu into vd. Option B, vd into vu divided by vd plus vu. Option C, vu plus vd divided by 2. Option D, 2 vd vu by vd plus vu. The correct option for question number 12 is option D, 2 vd vu by vd plus vu. Here you know the formula, average speed is equal to total distance by total time taken. You know this formula very well. What is the total distance taken? Total distance traveled. If s is the distance traveled, so s plus s is the total distance traveled. For two cases, first case t1 is the time taken, second case t2 is the time taken by the body. So you are adding t1 plus t2. So it can be given by s is the distance traveled with velocity vu, and another case s is the distance traveled with velocity vd. So t1 is taken as s by vu, t2 is taken as s by vd. So if you are simplifying it, you will get the final answer 2 vu vd divided by vd plus vu. This is the correct answer. Question number 13. A ball is thrown vertically upward. It has a speed of 10 meter per second when it has reached one half of its maximum height. How high does the ball rise? That means how much height the ball goes. They have given acceleration due to gravity is 10 meter per second square. Option A 10 meter, option B 5 meter, option C is 15 meter, option D 20 meter. The answer for question number 13 is 10 meter height. Option A is the correct answer. The ball rises 10 meter height. When a ball thrown upwards with a speed u, the maximum height is given by u square by 2g. You know the formula for maximum height. G is the gravitational force with a value of 10 meter per second square. They have given in the problem. So at one half of the maximum height, the speed of the ball is 10 meter per second. We use the equation v square is equal to u square plus 2as. Here v square, okay, u square, 2 okay. Here a is equal to minus g. A is equal to minus g, because when the body goes upwards, the gravity goes on decreasing. So we are putting a is equal to minus g, and s is replaced by maximum height h. So you are getting v square is equal to u square minus 2gh. This is because the ball is thrown upwards with some velocity, and a retardation is produced due to gravitation of the earth. So we can take the value of g is equal to minus g here. Okay. Here, you know, when it reaches the maximum height, when the body reaches the maximum height, the velocity becomes 0. V is equal, final velocity becomes 0. So here 0 square, then it is not 1 or 2, it is 10 square. It is 10 square. You please correct it. It is 10 square. You are getting 100 minus 2 into 10 into h by 2, you will get 10h. So minus 10h comes this side, 10h is equal to 100. So h is equal to 10 meter is the correct. Question number 14. If a ball is thrown vertically upwards with a speed u, the distance covered during the last t seconds of its ascent is option A ut, option B of gt square, option C ut minus of gt square, option D u plus gt into t. Option B is the correct answer. Here, let a body takes t second to reach maximum height. So v is equal to u plus at. The formula can be rearranged like this. V is equal to minus gt, because a is replaced by minus g. So here, when it reaches the point, highest point, v is equal to 0. So what happens to this equation? T is equal to u by g. So the velocity attained by the body, capital T minus t, in last t second they have given in the problem. So t minus t. So the same formula v equal to u plus at, I am writing like this. So if you are simplifying it, v is equal to gt, the velocity is gt. You know the formula, s is equal to ut plus of at square. Here in this formula, u means velocity gt, t already there, of gt square. So if you substitute it, you will get gt square minus of gt square. So you will get x minus of x. So you will get of x. That means of gt square is the correct answer. Question number 15. A rubber ball is dropped from a height of 5 meter on a plane. On bouncing, it rises to 1.8 meter. The ball loses its velocity on bouncing by a factor of option A 3 by 5, option B 2 by 5, option C 16 by 25, option D 9 by 25. The answer for question number 15 is option A 3 by 5. It is not 3 by 2. You please note down it. Here 3 by 5 is the correct answer. Here you note down the potential energy is converted into kinetic energy. When the body is at rest, it possesses potential energy. When it moves, the body possesses kinetic energy. So I am equating mgh is equal to half mv square. In both the sides m is there, so m is cancelled. So gh is equal to half v square. It can be written as g means 10, h means 5, g means 10, h means 5, half v1 square means v1 square here. So by simplifying you will get v1 is equal to 10. After one bounce, one time it bounces, and the same formula can be rearranged. 10 into 1.8 is equal to half vt square. That means v2 is equal to 6. So 6 by 10 may be simplified as 3 by 5. So 3 by 5 is the factor. Option A is the correct answer. Question number 16. If a car at rest accelerates uniformly to a speed of 144 km per hour in 20 seconds, it covers a distance of option A 1440 cm, option B 2980 cm, option C 20 meter, option D 400 meter. The correct answer for question number 16 is option D. Here they have given initial velocity is 0, final velocity is given in kilometer per hour. I am converting into meter per second. So if you multiply the given value by 5 by 18, it will be converted into meter per second, because 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meter, and 1 hour is 60 into 60. So if you simplify it, you will get 5 by 18. So we are multiplying by 5 by 18 here. T 20 seconds they have given. We know the formula V equal to U plus AT. So here U becomes 0. Okay. So 40 is equal to A into T. So A is equal to 2 meter per second square. If you substitute the formula value of A in the formula is equal to ut plus half AT square, you will get the distance traveled is 400 meter. So option D is the correct answer here. Question number 17. If the velocity of the particle is v is equal to at plus bt square, where a and b are constants, then the distance travelled by it between 1 second and 2 seconds is option A 3 by 2a plus 7 by 3b, option B a by 2 plus b by 3, option C 3 by 2a plus 4b, option D 3a plus 7b. The correct option for question number 17 is 3 by 2a plus 7 by 3b is the correct answer. Velocity of the particle they have given v is equal to at plus bt square. Here I want the required distance here. So what I am doing to get distance ds by dt, they have given at plus bt square. I am integrating the distance, given distance. So in the next step what I am getting IAT square by 2 plus BT cubed by 3 plus C. By integrating I am getting this. For S equal to T, distance travelled, this is distance travelled when T is equal to 1 second. When T is equal to 2 seconds, what happens? A by 2 plus B by 3 plus C is the correct answer. So here required distance travelled, how I am calculating distance travelled in 2 seconds minus distance travelled in 1 second. If you subtract these two values, you will get the final value 3 by 2a plus 7 by 3b. Question number 18. A car moves a distance of 200 meter. It covers the first half of the distance at speed 40 km per hour and the second half of the distance at speed v. The average speed is 48 km per hour. The value of v is, so we have to find out the value of v. Option A 56 km per hour, option B 60 km per hour, option C 50 km per hour, option D 48 km per hour. Option D 48 km per hour. So the correct answer for question number 18 is option B, 60 km per hour. How we are finding total distance traveled? They have given in the problem 200 meter. Half of the distance is covered with 40 km per hour, so 100 by 40. Another half is covered with what speed we don't know, so they have given V, so plus 100, so 100 by 40 plus 100 by V. Average speed we know the formula, total distance traveled by total time taken. So total distance is 200, total time taken 100 by 40 plus 100 by V. So you are substituting this. So if you are dividing in the numerator and the denominator by 100, you will get 2 here, 1 by 40 plus 1 by V you will get, because 200 by 100 you will get only 2 here, and 100 by 40 plus 100 by V will become 1 by 40 plus 1 by V here. So if you simplify it, you will get this step, next step. So 1 by V is equal to 1 by 24 minus 1 by 40. So 24 and 40 we take the LCM 120. So 5 minus 3 by 120, that means 2 by 120 is nothing but 1 by 60. That means 1 by V is equal to 1 by 60. So V is equal to 60 km per hour is the correct answer. Question number 19. A particle moving along x-axis has acceleration f at time t given by f is equal to f0 1 minus small t by capital T, where f0 and t are constants. The particle at t is equal to 0 has 0 velocity. In the time interval between t is equal to 0 and the instant when f is equal to 0, the particle's velocity is option A of f0 t square, option B f0 t square, option C of f0 t, option D f0 t. The answer for question number 19 is of f0 t. Option C is the correct answer here. You know, at time t is equal to 0, velocity v is equal to 0. They have given the equation f is equal to f0 1 minus small t by capital T. Here at f is equal to 0, if you substitute, you will get this. Since f0 is constant, you can write 1 minus t small t by capital T is equal to 0. That means t is equal to small t is equal to capital T. So acceleration f is equal to dv by dt. So dv is equal to f dt. dv is equal to f dt. So if you substitute the value of dv here, f dt, then you know the value of f here, you substitute here. So you will get this. Limit you apply from 0 to t, capital T. So you will get f0 t minus f0 t square by t. Here you see here in the numerator t square, in the denominator t is there. So tt cancelled. So you are getting f0 t minus of f0 t. That means x minus of x. You will get x of x. So you will get of f0 t. Of f0 t is the correct answer. That means option C. Question number 20. Two cars P and Q start from a point at the same time in a straight line and their positions are represented by xp of t is equal to at plus bt square and xq of t is equal to ft minus t square. At what time do the cars have same velocity? Option A, a minus f by 1 plus b. Option B, a plus f by 2 b minus 1. Option C, a plus f by 2 1 plus b. Option D, f minus a by 2 1 plus b. The correct option for question number 20 is option D. So velocity of the particle p is given by dx by dt of the particle p, that means given by a plus 2bt, and the velocity of the particle q is given by vq is equal to dxq by dt, that means f minus 2t. So when the particle have the same velocities, that means p and q have the same velocities, you are equating a plus 2bt and f minus 2t. Here suppose this 2t becomes this side, what happens? And if a becomes this side, what happens? See, so you are rearranging the formula. So But after rearranging, you are getting t is equal to f minus a by 2b plus 1 is the correct answer. Option D is the correct. Question number 21. The displacement x of a particle of mass m moving in one dimension under the action of a force is related to time t by t is equal to root of x plus 3. The displacement of the particle when its velocity is 0 will be option A 4 meter, option B 0 meter, option C 6 meter, option D 2 meter. The answer for question number 21 is 0 meter, option B. You know t is equal to root of x plus 3. So root of x is equal to t minus 3. So squaring on both sides, we will get x equal to square root of x will be cancelled. So x equal to t minus 3 whole square. So the velocity is given by v is equal to dx by dt. That means d by dt of x value. X value. So you are substituting the x value here. So d by dt of t minus 3 whole square, you will get 2 times t minus 3. The velocity of the particle becomes 0 when it becomes 0. So the t value you will get t is equal to 3 second. If t is equal to 3 second, if you substitute the value in this equation, you will get how much distance traveled? 0 meter. Question number 22. The distance traveled by a particle starting from rest and moving with an acceleration 4 by 3 meter per second square in the third second is option A 10 by 3 meter, option B 19 by 3 meter, option C 6 meter, option D 4 meter. The correct option for question number 22 is A 10 by 3 meter. We want distance traveled in third second. For that what we are doing, distance traveled in 3 seconds minus distance traveled in 2 seconds. So you know the formula S is equal to ut plus half at square. Here this ut term will not come here because the initial velocity u is equal to 0. Here half at square will come. So half at square, half a t means 3 seconds. Half a 3 square minus half a 2 square. Distance traveled in 3 square minus distance traveled in 2 square, 2 seconds. So you will get half into a into 5. Here the given value for acceleration a is equal to 4 by 3 meter per second square. If you substitute the value here, you will get 10 by 3 meter is the correct answer. Question number 23. The acceleration of a particle is increasing linearly with time t. As bt, the particle starts from origin with an initial velocity v0. The distance traveled by the particle in time t will be, there are four options. A v0 t by bt square by 3. Option B v0 t by bt square by 2. Option C v0 t by bt cubed by 6. Option D v0 t by bt cubed by 3. The correct option for question number 23 is option C. Here they have given acceleration is equal to bt. The a is proportional to bt here. Suppose mu is constant we are taking. That means 2 times we are differentiating the distance. That means if you are differentiating single time, it becomes velocity. X is the distance. If you are substituting, if you are differentiating, you will get dx by dt velocity. Again if you differentiate, d square x by dt square. So second derivative will give you acceleration. So here dA, suppose I want only distance traveled in the particle in time t. So for that what I am doing, first time I am integrating the acceleration part. Dx by dt I am getting bt square by 2 plus c. So initially t is equal to 0, dx by dt is equal to v0. Suppose second time I am integrating it, what I am getting, bt cubed by 6 plus v0 t plus 6 c. So when t is equal to 0, x equal to 0, c is equal to 0, the distance traveled by the particle in time t is v0 t plus bt cubed by 6. So the option C is the question number 24. A car accelerates from rest at a constant rate for some time, after which it decelerates at a constant rate b and comes to rest. If total time elapsed is t, then maximum velocity acquired by the car will be option A alpha square minus beta square by alpha beta into t. Option B alpha square plus beta square by alpha beta into t. Option C alpha plus beta divided by alpha beta into t. Option D alpha beta by alpha plus beta into t. The correct option for question number 24 is option D. Here let the car accelerate for time t1 traveling distance s1 acquiring the maximum velocity v, then s1 is equal to half at square, at1 square, because how we are getting from the equation s equal to ut plus half at square we are getting, from using v equal to u plus at, we are getting v is equal to alpha t1 here. So s1 is equal to v square by 2 alpha. This we have given equation number 1 here. So after this car decelerates for time t2 to come to rest, so s2 is equal to vt2 minus half beta t2 square. From the equation s equal to ut plus half at square, we are getting this. Here you see from u v is equal to u plus at. Here otherwise we can call u is equal to v minus at, both are same. So here we are getting 0 is equal to v minus beta 2. So here what we are getting, s2 is equal to v square by beta minus v square by 2 beta. So the net answer is z square by 2 beta. You know time taken t1 plus t2 is t. t1 is v by alpha, t2 is v by beta. So the total time taken t is equal to what we are getting, t is equal to alpha beta is the common LCM you are taking. Suppose if you get beta v plus alpha v, so if you simplify it, you will get v is equal to alpha beta by alpha plus beta into t. It is the correct answer. So the option D is the correct answer here. Option D is the correct answer here. D is the correct option. Okay. Question number 25. A particle moves along a straight line such that its displacement at any instant t is given by s equal to t cubed minus 6t square plus 3t plus 4 meters. The velocity when the acceleration is 0 is option A 3 meter per second, option B 42 meter per second, option C minus 9 meter per second, option D minus 15 meter per second. The answer for question number 25 is option C minus 9 meter per second. They have given the formula for displacement s equal to t cubed minus 6t square plus 3t plus 4. If you differentiate it, you will get this 3t square minus 12t plus 3, because 4 is constant, it will become 0. So again if you differentiate it, you will get this 6t minus 12. So a is equal to 0. Suppose a is equal to 0, what happens? 6t minus 12 is equal to 0. 6t is equal to 12. So t is equal to 2 second. T is equal to 2 second. Therefore the velocity when the acceleration is 0, what happens? If you substitute t is equal to the velocity when the acceleration is 0, if you substitute t is equal to 2 second in this formula, you will get minus 9 second is the correct answer.